Henry, I want to say something about this. I hope I can articulate it. One of our greatest challenges with great reward is walking through fear and what it represents in this world today. Because really, it's really all about fear. It's about, yes, bitterness is there and all these things, but the thing is that, I tasted just a really tiny taste of it after you had your heart attack in Trinidad. I remember just being totally surrounded by fear on every side. And I remember in my little island going, oh God, how do I walk through this without succumbing to what fear represents? The what ifs of everything. And isn't that really what that scripture's even saying? The what ifs, how's that going to affect me? Isn't that everything that's going on now? How's this going to affect me? But the thing is that there is a place of rest for us. And
there is.
There's a place.
Wait a minute.
There's a place of rest for us.
Wait a minute. Time, pause, and consider. Selah. There is, say it again.
There's a place of rest.
Stop. I want to hear this audience tell me what's been prepared for us.
And why? Because we cease from our own labors, which to me equals this. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? It's not about how you're going to do this. It's about how God is going to show you how to walk and overcome through this. But we're always looking for our solutions on how to overcome the whatever. Now, fast forward to the next phase of eternity, wherever that is, whether it's the millennium, whether it's past the millennium, and it doesn't matter. This is the proving ground for you to get this really under your belt and to really understand that it's not by might, it's not by your power, okay, but it's by his power, saith the Lord.
Now,
okay? And so the thing is, you cannot do this. That's the first thing you got to get it. You just got to wipe that off. Like, you cannot do this. I cannot do this. Dust cannot do this. We cannot do this. We are doomed to begin with this whole thing if we're saying we can do this. Okay? So you get that off the playing field, figure that out. That's not anything against you. So telling Loving to take a hike has nothing to do with that. We are not equipped to do this. In our creation, we can't even do it. It's not possible. Honestly, the angels weren't so great at it themselves, if you remember. So the thing is that, so we can't do it, but God through us can do it. And that's exactly what he wants us to do. So, with that being said, if you think about the first scripture we opened up, if you think on all these things, this is food for your spirit man to do this. And I can tell you, I am not very good at it either, guys. Allowing God's spirit work with me to overcome. I'm just like the rest of you. But I can tell you this. I had a small taste of how God meets you in the midst of this. By be still and know that I am God. Shut all the other things away, and you just listen very quietly. And he says to you, this is what you're going to do. And this is how you're going to do it. And it's not because you're doing it, I'm right here with you. We are doing this together, and you're going to walk through this. Just like Jesus could walk through the crowd because his time wasn't yet. There's a way that God provides for us. And I'm telling you, I heard the roaring all the day long, but I heard his still voice better than I heard that. Because when you boil it all down and you get quiet before him, he's right there. So I don't care if there's bombs going off. I don't care if there's crazy people yelling at you. I don't care what it looks like if you'll just go, let me think about this a minute. and you begin to recount, think on these things, think on these things. And Israel did it all the time. They talked about all the things that God did for them. They recounted. Why do you think they did that? Because what you were talking about is because faith starts to come up and blossom into something that's working with God even more than it was when you were just right here. Right. So your mustard seed will do something. Yeah. It connects with God. But remembering all the things, that's why I said I'm surprised this open mic's not full, because we want to hear how God met you, because we want a song and a story of our own. I mean, it's okay to have that one. That's a good one because it's in the Word. But the acts are still going on. And so we want to hear the song of our own. I want to be able to get to heaven one day and go, oh, that's Hope of the Generation song. I heard those testimonies. We sang them back there. Or Be in Health. I want to hear those songs. Oh my goodness, we sang those songs. So do you hear what I'm saying? We have to get past where we are in our little minute fear world, and just let God shove that back and say, be still and know that I am God. And when you're still, now we're going to remember. We're going to remember what I did for you, Donna. Remember that day when I called you to salvation? You remember? Yes, I remember that day. Do you remember when you were delivered of this and that? Yeah, I remember that day. Okay. Do you remember when Diane stood up there and she gave testimony how she was set free? Yeah, I remember that day. So that's the things we're supposed to remember, and that drowns out the accusations of fear, that drowns out the accusations of bitterness, unforgiveness, etc., rejection. It drowns them out. That's why that scripture today is so important to our lives right now.